Hello guys, we are again starting the daily analysis here on silver chart, the daily time frame. What we can see over here is quite an interesting market, a little bit sketchy to see what the direction might be for today, but let's take a look at it. We've pushed to the upside with the start of that week. We've reached that volume balance over here, which was the weekly volume balance, and we swept those highs over here. After it, we failed to close again above it, and we've respected the volume imbalance. Yesterday, I was expecting maybe a retrace into the fair value gap and then a reaction from it and another push to the upside. But as we can see, we quite did not make a reaction from it. We've made a very solid closure into the fair value gap, which at the moment we're still looking bullish on the daily time frame since we failed to disrespect the fair value gap, but it is more possible for me to maybe see a push to the downside over here, maybe a test of that inverted fair value gap over here, and to see if the price wants to respect it or keeps on pushing to the downside and making new lows over here. My thought process is mostly based here on the 4-hour time frame, which is why I am most likely going to look for bearish price action if we are not closing extremely aggressive bullish candles here on the 4-hour time frame from now on. What we can see is a market structure shift below that swing low with quite some volume, which made that fair value gap and that one over here, and also inverted that fair value gap over here. So at the moment we've kind of disrespected some PDRs that should have pushed the price to the upside, and we've also made some structure for a bearish PDRs. We have that fair value gap here on the 4-hour time frame, which at the moment is respected. We are currently trading into it, but we might be looking for some trades to reach out to that extreme over here, and from there on decide if we want to keep on seeing a bearish price action or not. The hourly time frame, we can see a bearish structure here as well. So at the moment I will be marking the Asia session highs, and if we get an S&T above it and the following pair which failed to take it out makes a very nice structure on the 15-minute chart with some volume, then we might look for some kind of a position into early one session over here. Let's check out gold. What we can see on gold chart is a little bit of a different story, but the same push to the upside, same structure taken out, same highs failed to close above, but here we've closed above the volume imbalance, and from there on we've made the same retrace to the downside as on silver. Here we've almost closed below the fair value gap, but it rejected. So at the moment we will be looking again for bearish price action to reach that extreme over here probably. The 4-hour time frame, same exact thing as on gold, as on silver, but we've managed to invert so many PDRs, like that fair value gap, that fair value gap, that order book here was not respected, that final fair value gap here was also not respected. So we are seeing a very strong bearish momentum, lots of PDRs which should have acted as support of the price failed to act as this one. So at the moment we will be looking for bearish price action based on that structure over here on the 4-hour time frame. That is one of our key areas of interest, and the other one is over here, the extremes on the daily time frame. The hourly time frame, what we can see, we are currently pushing to the upside. We have some zones that we are, remove that because I don't need it. We have especially that fair value gap over here, which in our case, if silver now takes out Asia session highs, gold fails to do so and respect that fair value gap, and from here on makes a structure to the downside, then we will be looking for a position until that low over there. And the 15 minutes should make some kind of a good structure with some volume, maybe a solid push here, taking out that swing low, retest of a fair value gap, and then a push to the downside to either here. That is something that we will be interested in. We're looking for that fair value gap to be respected, and if it's respected and we have some volume to the downside after the necessity, we will have a trade to the downside. Euro on the daily time frame, what we can see over here, very nice reaction from yesterday with, as we thought on the analysis, we tested that volume imbalance. It was kind of a manipulation just, and then a very nice expansion to the downside, taking out those lows, closing a candle below them. So our next target will be those lows over here. As first for our time frame, what we can see over here is push to the upside, a retest of that fair value gap, nice reaction from it, making a new fair value gap to act as support for the price, and currently we'll be testing it at any point soon over here, with our target even lower on those extremes over there. That will be our target for today. The hourly time frame, I've already marked the Asia session highs, put an alarm over there, and we'll be very soon taking it out, maybe making an S&T. We're gonna check pound in a minute, but we have a kind of consolidating can face over here with a little bit of upward momentum, but I am expecting a very nice push taking out of edges and highs, and then another push to the downside. That will be it for euro. And finally, pound on daily time frame. Very nice reaction yesterday. Very nice rejection to the downside, closing below those candles. Very nice and aggressive one. First target of the day will be the extreme over here. Next one will be a 4-hour zone, which is that fair value gap over here to be tested. In the 4-hour zone, we have a very nice structure, very aggressive closures to the downside. We have some fair value gaps that should act as support, plus that one over here. So the moment we are currently looking only for bearish price action, we're gonna check the hourly time frame like that. We have that fair value gap, which will be very good to be respected to see a trade from. If we see page session highs with euro, pound fails to take them out and respect that fair value gap, we're gonna see a very nice momentum to the downside. On the 15-minute chart, then we have a trade, some push like that, fair value gap, test of the fair value gap, and then an expansion to the downside. That will be it for today, guys. Everything we are looking at is currently in a bearish price action. Gold and silver are kind of sketchy. It might push to the upside, but if we have a good structure, we will be looking for shorts only. If we see a push to the upside, we won't take any trades for today. That will be it for today.